Oh, we can't do poetry without Shakespeare. So we are going to look at a couple of Shakespeare sonnets today. And I'm just going to go over what a sonnet is briefly, and then we're going to read the two poems that I picked out. And I'm not expecting you to write a sonnet. It's a little bit difficult, but you are going to pick one to analyze. So typically, it's just one stanza and it's 14 lines long. It does have a really strict rhyme scheme. It does follow this thing called iambic pentameter. This is why I'm not asking you to write a sonnet, because this can get a little tricky. So it's 10 beats per line, but it's alternating unstressed and stressed syllables, which could get a little confusing, but whenever we're reading the poems, it will make more sense. So Shakespeare is the most popular for sonnets. He wrote a ton of sonnets, over hundreds. And he usually wrote about some kind of love. The thing about Shakespeare is it is rumored that he was gay, but he was also married. So whenever you're reading his sonnets, it's kind of funny because you're like, is he talking about his wife or is he talking about his lover? So it does get a little bit confusing, but Shakespeare is amazing. He wrote a ton of plays and sonnets and poets, and he was awesome. So we are going to read some, and if you think that it's a little difficult, we're just going to break down one of the poems, and then the other one you will break down yourself. So some poetic devices used are usually allusions, imagery, and then the iambic pentameter definitely helps with that. So as you can see here, we have two sonnets. So Sonnet 18, this one is a super popular one. So, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of the heaven shines, and often in his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou oust, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growst. Now, so long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So here he's comparing, we're just going to call it his lover here, to a summer's day. So a summer day is usually beautiful. It's usually long. So he is comparing his lover to a summer's day. So thou art more lovely and more temperate. So saying that he or she is better than a summer's day, that it's more lovely, that it's better, it's easier on the body, the mind. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. So he's saying that summer days do eventually end. And sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often in his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines. Sometimes lines aren't going to make complete sense unless you read them with other lines. So here he's just continuing to compare his lover to a summer's day, but saying that she is greater or he is greater, and that he's also praising their beauty. By chance or nature's changing course untrimmed, but thy eternal summer shall not fade. So here he's saying that their love will never die away, that her beauty will never die away, or his beauty. Nor lose possession of that fair thou oust, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. So he's saying that even death could tear them apart. When in eternal lines to time thou growst, so as long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So he's saying that their love is immortal, that his lover is immortal, and that just knowing that is enough to keep both of them going. And then Sonnet 104. To me, fair friend, you can never be old, for as you that were when first your eye eyed. So here he's just saying, he's recalling the first time that he met his lover. Such seems your beauty still, 3 winters cold. Have from the forest struck 3 summers' pride, 3 beauteous springs to yellow autumn turned in the process of the seasons I have seen. So here he's just recounting their time together. So 3 winters, 3 springs, and 3 summers. 3 April perfumes in 3 hot Junes burned, since first I saw you fresh, which yet are green. So here he's also just now reflecting on the first time that they saw each other. Ah, yet doth beauty, like a dial hand, steal from his figure and no pace perceived. So your sweet hue, which methinks still doth stand, hath motion, and mine eye may be deceived. For fear of which, hear this, thou age unbred, ere you were born, was beauty's summer dead. So here, he's again, same thing, love is eternal, basically. So if you have any questions, email me just to complete the chart, do your interpretations, and then write your paragraph explaining and analyzing the poem that you choose. All right, good luck.